if you want to quit smoking, you have found the right place. I'm going to take a few minutes and teach you some very important techniques that is going to help you to quit smoking so that you can live your best life now. This technique is called a delay. It basically takes when you have just one of those urges that you got to absolutely have a cigarette. And it teaches you how to put that off into the future. And this technique will trick your mind because your mind will say, I got to have it and I got to have it now. And what you will gradually do is build up a time frame so that you can go longer between those times when you have a cigarette. And of course, if you go longer and you get to the point where you can extend this to one day, then you take it one day at a time and you decide you're not going to smoke today. And when you get up the next morning, you say, well, I'm not going to smoke then. But now let's back up a little bit. Let's start with something reasonable that you could do. Because let's face it, when you've smoked, and I have, and I quit, you can quit too. But when you smoke, when that urge comes on, or when you have a habit of getting up at a certain time and having a cigarette, when those times come around, it's really hard to get beyond that. So this technique called a delay will help you to be able to put distance between those times when you smoke those cigarettes. And you're going to be amazed at how easy this is and how it works. Now, the first decision is the first thing that you have to do is make a decision. Okay? The decision is you're going to use this delay. Okay? That's the important thing. You have to take a decision. Also, when you're smoking, I want you to make statements as you're smoking the cigarettes. Okay? Make statements like, I'm so glad that I'm a non-smoker, and keep smoking your cigarettes. All right? And smoke your cigarettes guilt-free. Don't feel bad about smoking cigarettes because you can't get better. You can't beat this addiction by feeling guilty, because feeling guilty is what drives you, causes cravings and urges and things like that. But let's go back and explain the delay a little bit more in detail. A delay, a good one to start with, is 5 minutes. Let's say you're going about your business, you're at work, you get up in the morning, wherever the case may be, where suddenly you have an urge and you really want that cigarette. Okay, the simple decision that you make is, I'm not going to smoke that cigarette now. I'm going to wait 5 minutes. That's all. That's how the simple technique works. Then go about your business. If you were busy doing something, do something. If you just got up in the morning and you normally have a cigarette at that point, just go ahead and start getting ready. Don't look at the clock. Don't set a timer. Don't do anything like that. Just go about your business. Because what you're going to find out is you're not only going to wait 5 minutes. You may be 10 minutes down the line, 15 minutes down the line, a half hour down the line, and you suddenly realize, oh, I didn't smoke the cigarette. Okay, and what you're doing is you're taking the pressure off your brain. Your brain says, you gotta have that cigarette. So you say, well, I might have that cigarette, but I'm not gonna do it for 5 minutes. And that's why we start with 5 minutes. Now, you start getting good at this, you can increase that to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Some people can increase it to like a half hour, but don't stretch yourself too quickly. You wanna take this slowly and build up a success rate where you're busy doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing and just going about your daily routine. You'll get to the place where you start getting really good at this. You'll be able to go from 5 minutes, like I said, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour. You might get up to an hour. You might even get up to a couple hours, whatever the case may be. But the important thing is don't take it too quickly. You want to build a success rate where you say, hey, I didn't think I could wait at all. I really wanted that cigarette, but man, I waited an hour. Okay. Now, if the hour comes and that urge is still there and you think, man, oh, I just want a cigarette, Go ahead and smoke that cigarette and do it guilt-free. But the important thing is, don't do it and think, oh man, I'm just going to have to give in to this and everything. That is a defeating attitude. You've got to say, I'm glad I'm a non-smoker, and smoke your cigarette and enjoy it and do it guilt-free. And that's the way that you do. And you gradually increase the delay until it gets to where you can say, that cigarette that I want, I'm not going to smoke it today. And when you get to one day, that's when you carry it on. And the next day you get up and you decide, I'm not going to smoke that cigarette today. Don't make the mistake and say, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm never going to smoke again. Your mind will absolutely panic. Okay? What you have to do is give it a set time. You have to say, I'm not going to smoke it today. Can't tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm not going to smoke it today. And then just make that quality decision every single day. You get better and better and better and better until you live your best life every moment. Don't get down on yourself. Don't feel guilty. That's what a delay can do for you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share your success story about how you quit smoking in the comments so that other people can benefit too. Live your best life now.